Ryan
Good.
from MMAViking.com.
Pleasure to meet you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. It's good to be here.
Good. First time in Sweden.
This is my first time here, yes. First few hours in this country.
Great. So with the jet lag, were you up early? Have you walked
I
around?
definitely have a little jet lag. I didn't sleep much last night. I had sat next to someone who liked to talk, but he was a great guy. We had great conversation. So I haven't really gotten much sleep, but I feel good.
Great.
Doing my job.
Great. Talk about this press tour that the UFC has put on here.
Well, the UFC thought it would be a great idea to put us on a world tour, and so we've been to LA, New York City, did some work in Canada already. We're here today in Sweden, and we'll be in London later today. So we're just traveling the world pretty much, spreading the good word of UFC 165 and mixed martial arts, and I think it's great. I think it's going to do great pay-per-view wise, just exposure wise for everyone, and just I think it's great for my relationship with Sweden and my relationship with Europe. I'm just really excited. Just really excited to be able to do this and spread my wings a little bit.
Yeah. And I know a lot of the questions that you get, probably mostly about Alex, but then you get lots of questions about other opponents, the Cormiers, and moving up to heavyweight. How frustrating is that for you that people ask you about your next fights after this one?
It's not too frustrating. The biggest thing I have to do is just to always make sure my number one objective is my number one objective, and just to stay, motivated and focused on the task at hand. But at the same, our sport, people, they like to know what's going to happen in the future. They like to kind of map out people's careers, and it's just the way it is. My job is just to have a good idea of what I want to do and just to stay focused on who's actually next.
Talk about the stare down that you had with Alex. Usually you typically look away from your opponents, and it looks like you've gotten eye contact looking directly at Alex. What is that?
Yeah, well, it varies. Sometimes if I don't really care about the opponent, I won't even look at him. I'll kind of just look into the future a little bit. And with Alex, because I look at him as one of those milestone fights. This fight is the most important fight in my career. He is. He's someone who is big like me, and the whole time, everything I've done, is always watered down because I'm bigger than everyone else. So to be able to shut up some critics by fighting someone and beating someone that's my size, if not bigger, is very important to me. It legitimizes me more. To win this record of being the greatest light heavyweight legitimizes me more. To defend my belt against somebody my own age legitimizes me more. So this fight is way more important to me than people really realize. So yeah.
Much has been talked about the reach advantage you may or may not have. What do you think about Alex's reach if you were?
I think Alexander has great reach. Whether he uses it better than me, we'll have to find out at the fight. But I'll tell you what, I think I've been hit a lot less than he has. So I think I'm the guy who uses his reach a little better. So we'll see that in the fight.
And you've been kind of known in the Jackson camp of kind of like taking people out with their own expertise, like wrestling at Chael Sonnen. Alex is known as a boxer. Is there any sort of idea that maybe you want to show and prove that on your feet you're the better man?
Well, definitely. I'm a mixed martial artist. I've been wrestling my whole life. I have the most submissions in light heavyweight history. So it would be foolish for me to sit here and try to lie and say I won't be taking him down at any point, or I won't go for submissions at any point. But I'm also going to fight a mixed martial arts fight, which means there's going to be moments where we're kickboxing. There's going to be moments where we're in the pocket and we're going to be exchanging blows. Expect to see everything. Mentally, I have no insecurities to him. I believe that. I was gonna say I believe that I'm better looking. I believe that I'm faster.
You know he's a model here.
Is he?
Alex, yeah.
Oh, dude, man. Well, if you're into chocolate, you can get me modeling too. I'll tell you what. But I believe that I'm faster. I believe that my physique is better. I believe that I have more techniques. I have better kicking. I have just as good at boxing. I have fast hands. I have explosive takedowns. I have good ground and pound, good jiu-jitsu. I'm very confident in this fight. That's the way I should be, and I want him to know that. I don't see any place where there'll be any insecurities, even boxing.
Jon Jones, I'm in Fight Sport magazine from Finland. You talked about you see yourself as the better man. What are the Alexander's strengths? What do you see as a
Alexander, that's better than mine?
What do you see as his strengths?
His strengths? I think he has nice footwork. He has nice punching. And he seems like he's a nice person. He seems like he has a good personality. Outside of that, there's nothing that he does in the cage that strikes me as being phenomenal or great. He has a nice uppercut, you know. He has a great uppercut. Outside of that, there's no move that he does that's really great. I mean, you think about it, what does he do that's so great? There's nothing. You know, my job as a fighter is to be very real. And the truth of the matter is he has a really good uppercut. And he has good straight right, decent left hook. But outside of that, there's no true fears. I just need to respect him and work really hard and beat him.
How do you see the fight going in general? Expecting a 5-rounder?
No, I don't expect a 5-rounder. I don't.
Do you ever expect a 5-rounder?
I never expect a 5-rounder. That means I did something wrong. I wasn't competing at my best. Something wasn't right.
You seem to like your life as a champion, of course.
Yes, it means a lot to
how
me.
do you see the situation? And Alex is a kind of different underdog, and he gets under the radar. You're getting all the spotlight. But
He's not. He's not an underdog. I think a lot of people think he has what it takes to win this fight. I don't feel like he's a huge underdog. You know, the truth of the matter is I'm the champion and he's the challenger, and so he should be somewhat of an underdog. But I think a lot of people believe in him, and that motivates me.
Do you like the situation of going in as a champion, taking all the heat, and do you feel any pressure? Is it
I don't feel any pressure. No way. No way. As a champion, you fight the #1 guy out there every time. And I've been doing this now since I was 23 years old, which is a lot younger psychology-wise. And I've had faith since I was 23, and now that I'm 26, I'm a lot stronger than I used to be, and I just don't fear anyone. Not when it comes to fighting.
You remember your own first title fight, which Alex is going into now?
Oh yes, I remember the feeling. I remember going, being the young guy going up against Shogun, being so motivated, and I'm sure he has that feeling. And the thing about me is, this fight is for the record. Of course I'm hungry. Of course. To be the greatest to ever do it means so much. Right now I'm tied with Tito. So this fight is my very first title fight in a way. This is the first fight to a better future.
Yeah. You had the famous toe injury. How did that affect your camp? Did it have any effect?
It hasn't affected my camp at all. You know, it definitely let me look at my career a little more seriously and realize that it's important to save money and to think about your future, because you never know when it all can be over. So having such a big injury really reminded me to be grateful. So grateful. But as far as camp, I'm back. I'm healed.
One last question. This is a huge fight for European fans. Alex has a chance to be the first European champion. What do you have to say to European fans?
Well, whether they're rooting for me or Alexander, I hope that they enjoy the fight, and I hope that they respect both of us equally, and I hope that they watch the fight. And I'm just grateful for all the fans, whether it's Europe, Brazil, Canada, America. We're all part of mixed martial arts family, and it's a great honor for me to be here and to represent, the UFC. And I'm just grateful. I'm grateful to have a European fighter to fight against. Being the champion of the world wouldn't mean anything if I was only fighting against Americans. So for me to defeat a Swede or a Brit, a freaking Brazilian, it makes me be feeling like a world champion. Like, it makes it more legit fighting guys from around the world. So I'm grateful to have such a great warrior from Switzerland to fight. Sweden. All of us Americans make the same mistake. I actually made that mistake on the plane. It's like, don't say that when you get there. You guys understand.
Great. Thanks, Jon.
Thank you.